ever used crutches for the first time, you know how awkward it can be. You feel like a baby giraffe out there just learning how to walk again. You feel like you're going to fall and you feel really unsafe. I don't want that for you. My name is Rob Drenning. I'm a physical therapist. In this video, I'm going to give you the complete tutorial for everything you need to know to be safe on your crutches, from how to fit them to you and get them set up for your body type, to how to use them correctly, and third, finally, how to wean away from them when the time is right and you're ready to start walking on your own again. Let's get into the first step, is how to fit your crutches for your body type. The first step and most important thing is to get your crutches sized right for your height and your body type. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. I got these crutches. The first thing you want to notice is that to get the height, on the bottom here, there's a certain height marker. You can start with that to match it to your height. But I have it right now on 5'10", and I'm 6'1". If you want to make it taller, you just squeeze the little knobs together and you slide the bottom out and it clicks together. If you want to bring it back up, you push it back up. So you can use that height as a starting point, but it's not always accurate, as is the case for me right now. So I'm going to show you how to size it up perfectly just for your height. It'll also depend on whether you have shoes on or whether you wear barefoot or sneakers or sandals. So when you're doing this, use the shoes that you're going to be walking around in most often. So what you want to do is take your crutches and move them at about a 45-degree angle, about 5 or 6 inches away from your feet. Not straight out to the side, not right in front of you, just about a 45-degree angle, 5 inches or so away. And then you should have 2 fingers. You should have about 2 finger widths between your armpit and the top of the crutch. That's how you know that the crutch is the right height for you. That's your starting point. Then you want to walk around and try it and see how it feels. If you're leaning way forward and hunched forward like that, then they're probably too short. Try it a little longer and see if it keeps you more upright. Basically, you want to feel like your arms aren't working hard like a gymnast while you're walking. On the other hand, if you feel like you're pole vaulting over your crutches or they're getting stuck on the ground, then they might be a little too long. Try a little shorter. See what feels the most natural, the most safe for you. Start with the 2-finger sizing method and adjust as you need to from there. The second thing is the handle grips. Now you can see I have 2 different heights here. What you want is your elbow bent slightly like that when you're using your crutch. Right about here. So that's about a perfect bend for me. 15 to 20 degrees, which is a very small bend. This one here, roll up my sleeve so you can see, my arm is straight when I'm using it. That's too low. It's going to pull me forward where we don't want to be. So I need that grip to have my elbow just in a little bit of a bend. So I'll show you now how to adjust that. It's pretty easy. It has a little wing nut on the side of it. I'm just going to unscrew that. Try not to drop it. Then we'll push the little rod out. I'll slide the grip up to the next set of holes there. And you put the rod back in. You line it up so it pushes in all the way. Screw that back on. It's as easy as that. Now the height is set up, the grips are set up. I'm ready to start walking around and testing it out to see how it feels. So now let's get to the important part. How do you walk and feel safe with the crutches? Okay, now our crutches are all sized up. They fit us good. Now we're ready to learn how to walk and how to use them. I do know I have one sock on here. My bare foot is going to be the foot that's injured, just so it's easier for you to see on the video and keep it straight in your heads. But the general rule of thumb is that when you're walking, the crutches will always go with your injured foot or leg. Wherever that foot goes, the crutches go right in a straight line with it. Okay? So if you're fully non-weight bearing, you hold that foot up. As you bring your leg forward, the crutches go forward, and then you can hop forward with your good foot. And then as you get more comfortable, you can take bigger steps in both directions. But most of the time, you'll be allowed to put a little bit of weight on it, but the same general rule applies. Wherever that foot goes, the crutches go. So you put a little weight on your foot, the crutches are right in line with it, and then you bring your other foot up to meet it. And that's how you walk. You take a step, the crutch with the foot, and then your other foot, little half steps. That's obviously a slow way to do it, and kind of your starting point just for testing it out. If you have enough mobility in your ankle, you can bring the crutches with that foot and step all the way through. So you have more of a normal walking pattern with this way, just like that. and you can get where you're going a little bit faster. Now remember, if you feel like you have to swing those crutches around, then they might be a little bit too long if they're scuffing on the floor. If you're way forward trying to do this, that's not going to help your back or your shoulders. Okay? So that's if you're walking using 2 crutches. Then let's say you're getting a little bit better, you're ready to wean down to 1 crutch. This is where I see the most common mistakes. You want to use the crutch in the hand opposite to your injured foot. The reason is if it's on the same side, you have to lean over like this to get weight off of this leg. And that's not going to help your back, your hip. It's just going to make other things unhappy, and it leads to kind of an awkward walking pattern. So the crutch is going to go in the opposite hand to your injured foot. And then the same rules apply. Wherever that foot goes, the crutch goes. I'm going to step, crutch goes with me, and I'm just going to walk like that. Wherever that foot goes, the crutch goes. Just like that. You can take as big as steps, go as fast as you want, put as much or as little weight on it, but that's how you wean from 2 crutches to 1. The key is to make sure you have the crutch on the opposite side of your injured foot. The next step from there is pretty easy. It's weaning all the way off and just walking again. Now, when you're ready to wean off of the crutches is dependent on when you can have a nice fluid walking pattern again. If you get rid of your crutch and your walk is like that, a big hobble, then you should continue using 1 crutch until you can have a little bit more of a smooth, fluid walking pattern. I hope those general guidelines help you out. Let me know in the comments if it works for you, if you have any other tricks that maybe you've used that would help somebody else. Thanks, and keep watching for more videos on how to live pain-free.